So today I really wanted to come out with like some crazy eye tutorial thing. Not a tutorial, but like an eye look, big makeup thing going on. And then I realized I didn't know how to do makeup, and so that was going to be a terrible idea. And I had the kidlets do around on me, and the last time they'd done makeup that I actually filmed was for New Year's Eve last year. And that was great. That was cool. But then they wanted to do this and they did so. And I looked in the mirror and went, I love it so much, but I can't go on camera like that because I feel like a fraud because it was way too cool for me, you know? Like I'm not cool enough to pull off the look that they had on me by any stretch of the imagination because it was badass. And so I wiped it all off and did a normal, look. I'm talking about this for a reason, because my inner makeup guru thing, I'm not a makeup guru, but I love makeup channels. And it came out in this video in really weird and crazy ways. And I am going to tell you why and how and all the crazy stuff that we're getting into today in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 195 of 365 days of soap. And today, we are starting what's ultimately, I think, going to be a 4-day long process of testing a brand new MICA company, a brand new soap supplier company that has come on the scene. And this company actually hit me up in a live stream a couple months ago, then emailed me and said that they wanted to send their micas to me to test. And I went, okay, cool, right? And then months go by and whatever. And then they sent them. And I figured they would just send a couple or whatever. And they sent their entire line. And when I opened up this big bag of chaos with all of these different micas and colors and things, my OCD brain broke. Like, oh, need to organize these quickly. Roji biv. And then I decided that it would be fun to do swatch tests with them and compare them to Mad Micas and see if we could find the equivalent to a Mad Mica shade with the new company that is called Midwest Soapery. And so throughout this video, that is what you are going to get. We are going to be testing 31 brand new mica colors, finding their sister color at Mad Mica. So if you're interested in replacing your Mad Micas with Midwest, you know which one to order, and doing it all on the arms like a real makeup artist. And it was a disaster, and Mr. Soap and Clay had to be called in to assist, and I'm glad that he did. So let's get to the video, and you can watch me not be a professional makeup artist, but have a ton of fun anyway. Okay, so this is going to be such a weird video, and it really should be subtitled the one where Mrs. Soap and Clay decided to try to be a makeup artist person, because I'm going to swatch some micas. Now let me tell you why I'm going to swatch some micas. So I cut this out of the footage for when I decided to test the soaps from Peak Octopus and the Soap Chef and For You by Shells, right? But on this exact same day that I was unboxing all these things to show them to you, I got this big ass bag from Midwest Soapery, who is a newer company on the scene, and she had talked to me in a live and then emailed me and wanted me to test her micas because she's starting a new business for soap supplies. She also does like bath bomb molds and shit. Very cool. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd love to test your micas. Awesome. Just thinking she's just going to send me a couple things. She sent me her entire line, you guys. So it's like 31 colors and 2 glitters. She sent me sample bags and full-size bags, and I'm kind of just dying with all of this, right? So I wanted to do this really fun and like scientific and stuff. So yeah, I'm starting a makeup channel because I decided it'd be fun to, before even soaping with these bad boys, which we're going to do over the next 3 videos, kind of lining them up with the Mad Micas that we have and seeing which of these best matches with micas that I know and love and have used a lot, just for another, point of interest. And then I thought, well, I have all these pretty micas out here, and eyeshadows are basically made out of just micas, so wouldn't it be fun to, do the little swatchy swatch thing on my arm and really see how close we get for all of these colors? And so that's what we are doing today with the assistance, with Mr. Soap and Clay's assistance. Because, yeah, he super needed to assist me with this. This ended up being, and you're going to see as it all goes on, just a really, really messy process. Like a messy, messy, messy process. I am wiping things on my coat. It was all crazy. And so I have decided that the spicy tomato from Mad Micas best matches up with, see, look at me. I'm a professional makeup artist now, guys. Look, I'm ready to start my makeup channel with the Bordeaux from Midwest Soapery. And, that's a pretty good match. Okay, it's not bad. Get in frame. There you go. I get better at that as this continues. But I definitely needed Mr. Soap and Clay's help with all of this because, first and foremost, the packaging from Midwest Soapery, phenomenally difficult to open. Like, really difficult. And I'm not in love with that. So Watermelon Crush with Midwest Soapery's red. And honestly, I don't really see that that's going to go red, but I'm interested. I can't wait to soap with it. And I wanted to try another one to see if maybe it was closer to a different color with Mad Micas. Ultimately decided it wasn't. So now we're going to go with bright red. Oh, yeah, no, just did that. Sorry. Jesus Christ. And so we're doing Voodoo there for Mad Micas. And the Busta Mauve from Midwest Soapery. And I actually, while I found this process really, really, kind of dirty, it was very dirty, but it was actually kind of fun. It was kind of fun to pretend like I was a makeup artist for a hot second and, do this thing. But yeah, I would not have been able to do this without Mr. Soap and Clay just because it was so hard to open up these packages. And so that would be my first thing that I would hope to see Midwest Soapery fix. The pull packages, like there with the orange, they're hard to pull. And I appreciate the extra sealing. I super do. But as you can see there, the Mad Micas, they don't have that extra sealing. They have them in bags that are reasonably easy to open. And that's good for soapers. You kind of have to think about, when you are doing packaging, what types of people are going to be using it, right? And also for her full size, which I haven't actually opened and played with yet. They are bigger versions of essentially the same thing. Really good heavy duty packaging. You can tell she spent a lot of money on it. But if they're hard to open and work with, I'm never going to use them. I will just not be drawn to them. So Carrot is Tequila Sunrise. Awesome. Now, you really do have to think about, I think, with your packaging, the types of people that are going to be using your products. And to be perfectly honest, soap makers run the gamut. And just the number of soap makers I know personally that have disability issues, be it, some sort of palsy or freaking like just arthritis. Like, you if it's hard to open the package, people are not going to use it. So that would be the first thing that I would suggest for Midwest Soapery. Beautiful, beautiful packaging. She clearly spent a lot of money on these bags, but maybe make something that's a little bit easier to get into. I do like the idea of shipping just within those bags, though. If you could get something a little bit closer and easier to open, kind of like Mad Micas, because that was nice. Everything can be like sort of flat packed and you don't have to use jars. Okay, that should actually say testing the greens and everything else. I did, so this was actually really fun to do in that just looking at these mica colors and finding one that's similar in Mad Micas. Obviously, Mad Mica has a much bigger inventory as far as colors go. And I said earlier it was 31 micas and 2 glitters. It's actually 29 micas and 2 glitters that Midwest is currently offering. But you can, like, that's a pretty good dupe. So far they've been reasonably close. And so you can, take that for what it is. Her prices are crazy. From what I saw on her Etsy, by the way, super cheap. So, I mean, again, it's all going to come down to how they soap. But as far as finding something to replace the maniacal pea with, if you want to, well, there's a kind of reasonable option there. And again, I just had a lot of fun doing this. But we also had to do this over the course of like hours because it was just messy and micas were flying everywhere and it was super nuts. But it was nice to be able to look at her inventory against Mad Mica's entire inventory and see kind of what her spread is against Mad Mica's, right? And I found it to be pretty comparable throughout the range of shades, right? Mad Mica's has what, like 76? That's what's in the Full Monty, somewhere in the 70s. And this is about half that. And I'm looking at the Mad Micas, and they have like 12 reds, right? And Midwest Soapery has about 6 reds. So that makes sense. An inventory half the size, that makes sense. What I find very interesting in both of these lines is the sheer number of greens and blues that I will never fully understand. Like, there are a lot of greens and blues in both of these lines. And I guess maybe that's because people really like green and blue. But looking to the yellows, Midwest Soapery has two options. And Mad Micas has 6. And I think we've talked about yellow before. I honestly cannot tell the difference from yellow to yellow to yellow in a soap. And I think the oranges, I think Midwest had 2 and Mad Micas has 4. So again, that makes sense. About half the size. Midwest's inventory is about the half the size of Mad Micas. And I think she does a good job with the oranges. There's a dark orange and a lighter orange. She essentially has Pumpkinhead and Tequila Sunrise. The other 2 oranges really in Mad Micah's line really aren't, I mean, they look really similar to the rest of them, And then you get to the blues, and I think Midwest Soapery did a very good job of capturing sort of the important blues, right? So you want your dark blue, your Twilight-esque, for sure. You want like a green blue. You want an aqua blue, which is different than green blue. You want a light blue, you want a mid blue. Sure. So I think she did a really excellent job with that. But her blues, I think, are easily her biggest. Well, I don't know. I think the number of blues she has and the number of pinks she has might be close. like pinks and reds. But again, like to that, there were a lot of blues. And I just kind of have to wonder why so many blues and so many companies. And it probably is because blues and greens, they're very popular. And so have a lot of them. But so the blue tide goes with the turquoise. I can get behind that. I feel like that's a pretty accurate thing. But yeah, I'm interested to see all of these actually in the pours that we do for this. I mean, that's a very close match. That is very, very close. And the peacock and... Sorry, this is all getting sped up a lot. So if you actually want all of the information, like mute the whole thing, like literally turn me down. Don't slow down the playback and keep me talking, because I will sound very strange, and I already sound kind of strange. So don't make me sound more strange, please. No, that's not a great match there, but you know, we're going to see. Anyway, the blues in all of this, very similar in tone. Like those four in the middle of my arm, they all look basically the same to me. So I don't get it. But I'm interested to see what they do soaping. So we will be soaping all of these colors, being very scientific in all of it, and I'm super duper excited for that. But because I'm being very scientific in all of it, it's going to be a very... It was either going to be one like hour and a half long video, or it was going to be 3 videos wherein I could actually talk about all of this individually and give all of the colors the attention that it deserves and really explain the process that we're doing here. So I opted for that. So the next 3 days are going to be fully Midwest Soapery, testing her colors, both in leave on the counter and do not see pop, and put in the oven and see pop in gel to see the differences in color, and keep everything, like control all variables. So the exact same amount of, you know, colorant is going to go into each beaker. The exact same amount of oil will go in there to disperse the colorant, like all of the things. And as a result, that footage ended up super long. So we're going to break it down into a few days so we can fully see it all and give all of it the time it deserves. Because this footage right here was also, oh my God, at least an hour and a half long. Just because all the things that I have cut out is me cleaning off my hand every single time, and obviously cleaning off my arm, and you know, all of the things, and just kind of had to take breaks because I'm continuing to sort of put my hand up in the, you know, the camera, and then I'm standing on my tiptoes to see into the camera to make sure my arm is in frame. It was all a thing. I was pretty tired at the end of all this, but it was also fun. Like, look how fun this is. Have you ever done this with your micas? Just like taking your Brambleberry mica and your Mad mica and your Nurture Soap mica and just ran some swatches on your arm like you're a makeup YouTuber and you're swatching some eyeshadow palettes. I love those videos when they swatch the palettes and they're talking about like fallout and coverage and how pigmented they are and stuff. That's super fun to me. And so if I really wanted to be clever in this video, I could have started talking like one of those guys, but I'm not clever. I just want to play with pretty colors. And so that's what I'm doing. And you guys get to see them all side by side to sort of show you that there are pretty similar options out there for all micas. There's going to be an option in another soap company that you're going to like. Now, how they perform in soap, wildly different, of course, and we know that. This color is freaking awesome. This is a color shifting color like nobody's business. I cannot wait. The one that's in the middle there, just like where my watch is supposed to go. I cannot wait to see what this does in soap. I'm going to assume it does nothing and it does not survive saponification, because honestly, it probably looks most like plum dusk from Mad Micas, and that goes gray. It does nothing. But in person, that purpley, browny, reddy thing in the middle, color shifts like nobody's business. That would be gorgeous in melt and pour soaps. That would be gorgeous covering a bath bomb. There's just so many possibilities for that color. I was blown away by that. And the plum dusk does actually not shift like that. So I was very impressed by that one. But we're going to see what it actually does in soap. I'm looking forward to that. My money is on that one is going to do weird things in soap, and the color is not going to show up at the end of all of it. So, you know, timestamp this right now, and we can come back to this, and you can tell me whether or not I'm wrong in a few days. Also, this is the time when both of my hands started looking like I'm one of those gold statues at Caesar's Palace. You know what I mean? Like the actual people that are golded out from head to toe. How long do you think it takes them to get that makeup on? Do you think it's like a spray tan machine? It's got to be like a spray tan machine, right? That it's just 6 seconds you're in and out, because there is that's some serious body paint to be fully gold all day long. Also, how long do you think they have to stay with all that stuff? How long are their shifts? I have so many questions. You know what I'm talking about though, right? The human gold statues, I'm pretty sure they're gold at Caesar's Palace. It wouldn't make sense for them to be any other color. But yeah, look at my fingers. There's no amount of actually getting anything off at this point. It's all under my fingernails. It's crazy. I just look a mess. My coat is completely covered in all micas because I just keep wiping my fingers on my coat. It was wild, but a lot of fun. And so, you know, there's all of the weird colors that we are going to be playing with. A total of 31 colors, because we're going to mess with the glitters, even though I know the glitters aren't going to do anything in cold process. But we're going to do 31 colors in multiple ways over the next 3 days. So you can see how this brand new freaking soap supply company performs. And, you know, we're going to figure it all out together. I don't know whether it's going to go great or not. I don't know. Haven't soaped with them yet, but this was fun. And there it is, the one where Mrs. Soap and Clay got weird. And it was weird, but also fun. And my coat was completely covered because every time I was dipping into those, I was just wiping them on my, it was all a thing, but it was a fun thing for sure. So far, the only thing that I have to say about Midwest Soapery, the colors are amazing. They have a good shade range for sure. There's a lot of good matchups between that and Mad Micas, so you can easily find, you know, your replacement. The only thing negative that I have to say though is that the packaging is not very user-friendly, and it's hard to actually pull the little seal tab off. And because of the silver on the back and the they're very expensive bags, but they're difficult to open. And I think for people who have, I mean, I have regular hands. I don't have any sort of like arthritis or anything going on. My dexterity is very good, and I had a hard time with them. So that would be my first suggestion to Midwest. But as for other suggestions, well, we have to actually soap with them before we can make any other determinations. So that's what we will be doing starting tomorrow. We are going to do very scientific, awesome soap tests with these guys, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I really hope you come back to check this out because this is going to be a really, really fun experiment. If you're interested in being reminded to come back and check it out, hit the subscribe button. Do the things. Come back and see us work with Midwest Soapery tomorrow for sure. If you've already hit the subscribe button, hey, thank you. I hope you get reminded to come back and do all the things. Are you excited for this? I'm really excited for this. Their prices, from what I could see on their Etsy site, cheap. Can't get to their website yet, though. So if you guys can, let me know. MidwestSoapery.com. I haven't been able to load it, so let me know. Anyway, I am out of here for today, but I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy and science experimenty fun. Bye.